How one person can change the world. Why every individual matters in solving global issues. Why can every individual contribute to solving global issues? At first glance, it's a daunting question. The world today faces challenges of overwhelming scale. Climate change, poverty, war, inequality, pollution, food insecurity. These problems seem massive, complex, and often far beyond our reach. Many people feel powerless in the face of such global crises. But what if I told you that the power to make a difference doesn't only lie in the hands of world leaders or billionaires? What if the truth is that every person, regardless of their background, age, or status, has the ability to help change the world, step by step, moment by moment, choice by choice? You see, change does not always begin with grand revolutions or huge acts of heroism. Often it begins with small decisions repeated over time. History is full of individuals who sparked movements with simple ideas, with words, or even with kindness. Think of Greta Thunberg, who started a climate strike by herself outside the Swedish parliament at the age of 15. Or Rosa Parks, whose refusal to give up her seat helped ignite the civil rights movement in America. Or Malala Yousafzai, who spoke up for girls' education, even after being shot by extremists. These are just a few examples of how one voice, when fueled by conviction, can resonate across the planet. But beyond famous figures, there are millions of everyday people making a difference. A teacher in a rural village who gives children the tools to dream. A nurse who provides care in underserved communities. A coder developing apps for disaster response. An artist who tells stories that inspire empathy. A teenager who picks up trash on the beach or shares information online about a cause they care about. These actions may not make headlines, but they matter because they create ripples, and ripples become waves. One person inspires another, and that inspiration spreads. That's how change takes root. Moreover, in a connected world, individual actions have more power than ever before. A tweet can spark global outrage. A donation can feed an entire family. A petition can pressure governments. A video can educate millions. Our daily choices, what we buy, what we eat, how we vote, what we say, send signals to systems and institutions. They say, we care. They say, we are watching. They say, we demand better. This is why you matter, not just as a consumer, but as a citizen, a creator, a leader in your own right. Some people believe their impact is too small to count. But imagine if everyone thought that way. Nothing would ever change. In contrast, imagine if everyone believed the opposite, that even one action, one moment of compassion could matter. What kind of world would we live in then? Every major transformation in history began with a few people daring to believe they could do something. And in a world where so many problems are interconnected, even the smallest contributions can be part of a much larger solution. Fighting climate change? It starts with choosing reusable over disposable, conserving energy, voting for green policies, and supporting sustainable companies. Tackling poverty? It begins with donating time, money, or skills to community initiatives, or simply buying from fair trade sources. Promoting peace? It can start by listening to others, speaking up against hate, or educating ourselves about global issues. In every case, individuals matter. And when individuals come together, they become movements. Unstoppable, undeniable, world-changing. This idea becomes even more powerful when we consider that global issues are deeply rooted in values. Justice, empathy, equality, respect, and who better to embody those values than us, the people living them every day? Governments may sign treaties, but it's people who push them to act. Corporations may chase profits, but consumers shape what they can sell. Institutions may resist change, but society, made up of individuals, can demand it. You are not helpless. You are not too small. You are part of a human story that is still being written. And perhaps most importantly, contributing to global solutions is not just about helping others. It's also about finding meaning in your own life. When you take part in something bigger than yourself, you connect with purpose. You see your existence not as isolated, but as part of a wider web of humanity. You become a builder of the world you want to live in, not a bystander. And in that act of giving, of showing up, of doing what you can with what you have, you find hope. So yes, the world is complicated. Yes, the challenges are real. But so is your power. Never underestimate the influence of one individual with a heart that cares and the courage to act. Change doesn't need permission. It needs people. People like you. People willing to learn, to speak and to vote, to share, to plant, to dream. The journey to a better world starts with a choice. And that choice is yours.